shit.
The great thing about living in the Kootenays is that you are no more than 5 minutes away from great off-road riding. Just outside a downtown trail is Sunningdale. This is where our adventure was today. After a short ride through some residential streets, we take a left on Sandpit Road, which winds up to the top of the hill to the water tower. We left the Chevron in downtown trail less than 5 minutes ago, and just like that, we're almost at our destination. I stopped to discuss a game plan, but it appeared that Taz already had one of his own.
I got it.
Without hesitation, he found the steepest hill and
How's he
proceeded
gonna come
to climb
down?
it. Well, almost.
I didn't get you going up, but I got you stuck.
A big fucking rock there.
I know.
I got a little excited in the sand and decided to throttle up and, oh, hello tree.
Woohoo! Almost lost it coming up there.
Lots of little trails around here, hard pack and gravel, and everything in between. Underground fuel tanks and discarded culverts. I'm thinking that there was something industrial here at one time or another. But that was a long time ago. I've been coming up here for the past 30 years, and it's been like this ever since then. In high school, we'd skip class and drive around here in a buddy's Jeep, and nothing has changed. While the other two were exploring, I thought I'd try this hill again. I wanted to redeem myself, but I also wanted to make sure nobody was watching in case I fell over. This time I successfully avoided the tree. There's a lot of deep sand here and a little trickier for my bigger bike. Or maybe it's my lack of experience. But I'm going to blame the tires on this one.
Oh, follow me.
As you can see, I'm really struggling here. I really need to take an off-road course. This place is getting subdivided out for houses, so it's just a matter of time before we have to find another place to play. Years ago, I'm talking 40, 50 years maybe, there was a gravel company up here, but that's long gone. The Columbia River is just on the right there. That's where we're heading down to. The hill is a lot steeper than it looks. The camera never gives a true angle. If I was looking to get away from the sand, it's not happening here.
Anywhere around here.
Although I really shouldn't complain, it was my idea after all. Kevin and Taz are in their element here. I'm just trying to stay upright. Taz is really comfortable in that little XT225. He'd never do this on his Harley, although he would tell you otherwise. Here comes Kevin on his KLR 650. Not quite the lightweight like the XT, but he handles it well. Kevin had just finished a 16-point turn after coming to a tight spot. In that time, Taz and I had had a beer and a nap.
I can see my house from here.
I really could. It was just across the river. Sand, it really has become my nemesis. We do not play well together. Another graceful exit. This is what happens when you forget to zip up your tank bag. It becomes a yard sale. I'm just happy to have a couple guys along today. I only bring them along to help pick up my bike. On the downside and in the sand, I was going to need some help on this one.
And it's buried.
Instead of waiting for help, I tried a bunch of times to pick it up myself, but my feet kept slipping out from underneath me. By this time I was worn out, and the day had just started.
Okay, how the hell did I pick this thing up?
Taz to the rescue. Finally. I thought they were just going to leave me
Plus,
here.
I can't get enough grip on my foot to pick it up. Keep sliding.
Well, you're on the downside.
I know. Came through here and let's just wait.
I was gonna wait for Kevin, but Taz was keen to get back at it.
1, 2, 3. Okay, up.
If you haven't figured it out by now, this is the safest way for me to get through sand.
And that's why I don't ride by myself.
Well, that's why I want to partner too, because I'm in the same situation. I mean, I almost did the same thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for making me feel better, Kevin. I appreciate that. Once I was up, I was focused on staying on my wheels. I couldn't expect them to keep coming to my rescue. This is a large sandy area with gravel. It's nice and open. There's lots of places to ride. See what I mean? Lots of places. As you may have already noticed, Taz is the star of this video, and Kevin and I are the highlight reels.
Oh, you dropped it.
Loss of forward momentum and gravity can be a bitch.
Oh.
Not the only one to
trying to
drop
turn
his
around?
bike today. Thanks, Kevin.
I was trying to head down halfway, but I missed it.
Oh, you're leaking.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. You should have yelled at us. Or did you?
I was waving.
Oh, well, I believe it.
That's what his girlfriend said. He was leaking.
Of course, it might be flooded. So you were coming up this way?
Yeah, and they just, whatever. My tire hit here, and he just didn't have enough speed to carry it.
Oh, yeah.
Quick enough.
It's alive! Now you're on the rock.
Kevin seemed confused. His tire was
you're right
spinning,
on the
but he
rock.
wasn't going anywhere.
You're high centered
Undeterred,
on
he
that
was
rock.
determined to get himself off the rock.
You're not going to get over that rock. You're right on it. Okay. Okay, slow. Bring it back slow.
It's a good feeling to be the one helping out instead of being the one that's always being helped out. The Sunningdale Sand Pit is a great riding area with a lower and an upper bench of sand and gravel. For years I've been watching others ride here from my front deck just across the river. This is the first year for me riding down here. I've ridden the upper trails but never found the way down. The upper area is just as sandy, but it does have a hard packed road to travel. Parts of the road have really deteriorated this year from the 4x4s. When it's soft and muddy in the spring, they come here to do their mud bogging, and they make it very difficult to get by, especially for the cars and non-lifted trucks. It's no problem for us on our bikes, but for people wanting to access the Trans-Canada Trail, it will be a challenge. This guy got through, but he's in a 4x4. The Trans-Canada Trail spur goes from Sunningdale to Castlegar. This road leads to the trailhead, which is for hiking and non-motorized biking. Being late spring, almost summer, and with a deep snowpack last winter, you can see the snow on the mountains in the distance. Usually the snow is all melted by now. We head back down the hill to the bench below. We end up in a nice flat area with lots of trees, but also lots of open spaces to ride if we want to get off the trail. We had a lot of rain this last spring, and even with all the warm weather over the past few weeks, there were still a few puddles and mud that we could play in. Although we dropped down a couple hundred feet to this bench, we were still over 100 feet above the river. We've reached the end of the road. From here on, it's non-motorized only. There were still hills to climb, and Taz had a full tank of gas, so he rode and we watched.
Oh, man down!
What happened?
Oh, I slipped. Like you. Let me know if you need help.
As you can hear, I did offer to help, but he figured since he got himself into this, he might as well try and get himself out. It wasn't quite what he'd planned, but it just goes to show that this bike will go anywhere. This is the new silent mode feature on this bike. Taz had had enough and we were gone again. I don't really know where, and I don't think he knew either. As we were riding, I realized I should have led. There are some roads that branch off and offer nice riding through the trees. With only a little off-road experience, anyone can ride these roads. It's not technical at all. Maybe that's why we make it look so easy. Once we got to the top of the hill, there was a side road to the left. No one knew where it went, so we took it. We got to the top of the hill just in time to watch Taz get stuck halfway up the sand pile. His 225 just didn't have the horses to get all the way up.
I'd offer to help him, but I know he says he's got to do it himself.
Kevin and I made the more prudent choice and stayed
I said
below.
that for the camera's benefit. I don't want to look like an asshole just standing
I'll
here.
help you, but I can't help.
After Taz got back down, he realized there was an easier way up. I'm a believer in low, calculated risk, high reward. And though it wasn't as much fun as watching someone else try and fail, it was still worth their effort.
Hey, when you get up the other side, there's a road that goes to the left. Just as you get to the top, it turns to the left. Okay.
In the end, it's just easier if I show them rather than try and explain it. That was an unnecessarily wide turn. Sometimes I get looking at the scenery and forget what I'm doing. I love this spot, been here a few times. It's got a little bit of a hill climb, but it's so open with not much underbrush. You could just ride in between the trees if you wanted to. Sometimes I wish I had a smaller, lighter bike so I could go off trail and not worry about the consequences.
Yeah, I'm heading that way.
What's that way?
I have no idea.
Well, I've got to find out.
I lied.
Okay,
I knew it was up there. My first off-road ride ever was on my 650 Sertal, and I had never made it up the hill and barely was able to pick up my bike and get back down. It was one of the only times I rode off-road alone.
All right, see you guys.
I wasn't going to tell them that though, but I'm sure they'll figure it out when they see this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the logo and like us on Facebook at Gofar if you liked the video.